This week on Archery 101, we're up to step number 8, a controversial one, aiming. Alright class, take your seats. We are expanding onto our seminar series here on your shot cycle. Everybody's in your seats, especially you, Johnny. Quit picking your nose, put your pencils down, turn off your iPhones, you bunch of little spoiled millennial brats. Alright, so here we are. Step number 8. We're almost there. Now this is, as I said in the intro, controversial step, and we'll cover that in just a second, okay? Now, let's quickly review our previous steps. Remember, we are building a foundation for a successful shot. Man, if I could say that, probably come across much better too, huh? Alright, first thing we do is get our stance, right? Nice, solid, comfortable stance. We don't sway, lean, bobble, or wobble. Then we knock our arrow. Then we hook our string. Then we set our grip. We do our setup. We get our mind ready to go. We get the basic information we need to know to make the shot. Arms up. We draw. We anchor. We load, we transfer the effort of pulling and holding from the front to the back. And that's where we're at right now. Our next step is aiming. Now, big thing about aiming, you got to have two things. A clear mind and a calm feeling. Alright, we'll touch on that later. Now, the big thing is, if you have the clear mind and the calm feeling, it allows your body and your mind to focus at the task at hand. Alright everybody, what is aiming? Oh, can of worms time, isn't it? Because, you know, there's those out there that think, you don't aim, you don't do shot cycles, it's all instinctive. Yeah, okay. It's your opinion, have fun with it. I just don't happen to share it. Alright? It doesn't matter how you aim, alright? It doesn't matter if it's instinctive, gap, split, string walking, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. All right? Everybody aims. Don't take it as an offense. Aiming is just a word. It's a word to describe something that you're doing. That's all it is. All right? Now, I don't care how you shoot, but all aiming has to have two things. Focus and a calm mind. Yeah, you can shoot with a mind racing, but the odds are you're not going to be able to do it all the time. A calm mind is really important. Alright? And, in this step, it's when you focus on how you aim. Alright? So we're at that step. It's not what you aim, but how you aim. So if you're shooting instinctive, at this step, your mind's cleared, you are burning that hole to that little spot on the target where you want the arrow to hit. That's your aiming. That's it. Alright, you're just burning that hole. Now if you're shooting gap, at this one, you're making sure your arrow is on that spot a certain distance from where you want your arrow to hit. So you're focusing on that, knowing that you've got it burned in, you're seeing it. Alright? If you're shooting split vision, you see everything, which I really like. You see the target here, and you know your arrow's here, and your mind says, good to go. That's what I'm talking about aiming. I'm not getting into the specifics of how you aim and all that other good stuff. Alright? But this is the time that you take to do that. Alright everybody, we know what it is. But here's some key points about this step of your shot cycle. The aiming step is your last step before the release. So therefore it's your final check. You're making sure everything's right, everything's good to go. Quick review, and then you start to aim, right? This is not the time for you to make any adjustments to your form. So if your anchor's slightly off, you don't pull it down. Do not make those adjustments. You draw down and shoot again. If you drew and you didn't hit your anchor properly, you did not draw properly. Alright, it's that simple. You messed up a step. Go back to go and start all over. Alright? We want to get better archers. You want to make those better shots. You want to win tournaments. That's what you got to start doing. Alright? Now, two other things. When you are aiming, it is critical that you maintain the proper back tension. What do we mean by that? What I mean is when you hit here, You keep the sensation of pulling going. You don't hold in place, all right? Holding in place, it can be done, but it's a bad thing to get in the habit of. You want to keep the sensation of pulling. Doesn't mean you physically do, but it's the sensation of continuing to pull. Continuing to pull, all right? That is a very, very important little aspect. And finally, if you're aiming up or down, you know, shooting uphill or shooting downhill, it is better to pivot at the waist than it is to lift the arm or drop the arm. All right? Because when you shoot, I call it the T. You want that letter T as much as you can get right across there. All right, up next, I'm going to give you a couple tips on how to get better at it. All right, everybody, simple tip on how to get better at aiming. Ooh, Greg. All right. Have you ever noticed when you're shooting that when you make that really great shot sometimes, when you're here, you have that peace of mind, that calmness. You just know it's going to be a good shot. And 9 out of 10 times, it is a good shot, isn't it? Right? But when you make that bad shot, you ever that bad shot where your mind's like, no, this ain't right, that's it. Your mind is screaming at you. Your body's doing something. Your body, your mind's telling you, this ain't right. But guess what we all do? And I'm just as guilty, and if not more, I let it go anyways. My problem is I always think, I can save this. No, you can't. Draw down. So what I'm trying to tell you to do, if you want to get better, is learn to listen to your body and your mind. It's telling you things. The feeling. I'm always talking about when I shoot the feeling. Right? If I got a good feeling, and I don't mean a happy, oh yeah, today's a beautiful day. Right? When I shoot and I get it right, my mind's empty. I don't even have, there's no thoughts in it. My body's relaxed. I'm holding it. Yeah, there's effort into it. But it's not a conscious effort, right? So that's what we got to try to do. So we got to get it to where we're doing. I'm telling you, isn't it amazing when there's nothing in your head when you shoot, but other times your mind's running 100 miles per hour? Why is that? Did anybody think? What do you think? It's because something you did in your shot cycle is not right. It's your body giving you a warning. So my biggest tip for you on how to get better is to listen to your body. Now, the next one I'm going to cover, it's not for everybody, but I like it, and the guy that made it and taught it to me is one hell of a shot. And that's the mantra. All right? If you notice so far in this video, it's all pretty much aiming's all been about the mental aspect, huh? And that's because it's so important. If you can understand what's happening, then you can adjust it, anticipate for it, you know, whatever you want to call it, prepare for it and handle it. But what I found with a lot of archers, when they shoot, they don't even know what the world's going on. Well, I don't know why I did that. When I miss, I got a pretty darn good idea why I missed. Now, it could be wrong, but at least I have an idea. And when I have an idea why I missed, I can work on it to reduce it. And that's where the mantra comes in, right? The guy that made this, who taught it to me, his name is Joel Turner. And he has a great system, and I'm telling you, it will help you, especially if you're dealing with target panic. You can check out his information on either Facebook, YouTube, or on the website at Iron Mind Hunting. All right, Joel Turner. It's good stuff. I've shot with him personally on a couple courses, and the guy is a dead shot, knowledgeable, friendly, and I'm telling you, I've seen him help people who are willing to receive it. I also watched him. He was teaching the guy, and the guy shot. And he goes, I'm hitting low. And Joe goes, well, aim higher. And the guy goes, I can't. I shoot instinctive. And Joe goes, well, can't help you then. Right? I mean, how can I help you hit higher if you shoot instinctive? You can't. Right? But this guy wouldn't even embrace, think about, or give a chance to listen to what he had to say. He wanted a shot cycle that made him hit the target. But it didn't happen that way. Right? Sorry to go off course, but just one of those things that rubs me raw. Right? One thing that Joel talks about is the gremlin. What's the gremlin? It's that little voice in your head that's telling you, shoot now, shoot now. No, take the shot, yeah, yeah, yeah. When you got that little barking noise, that's the gremlin in your head. We got to learn to put that gremlin under control, or it can defeat him. And the mantra is one way to do it. All right? Joel teaches you your first task, or one of your first tasks, is to see it, to keep it. So when you're looking, you look where that arrow wants to go, and this works for the instinctive archers big time. Once you look at it, you don't have to think about looking at it. Your mind knows what to do. You look at it, go, there's my target, and your mind will keep your eyes there. There's an old rule that your hand will follow your eyes, all right? That's a rule from when I was skip barber racing school. So if you go to the right, if you ever notice you look to the right, your hand sort of follows the car, starts going to the right. So when you're on a racetrack and you want to go to the right, you turn, wherever you want to go, you turn your eyes, and your hands will follow you. And it works in archery too. So if you start moving your eyes, if you're burning your hole, but then you look over here at something, guess what? Your hand just moved over with it. So watch that on your aiming. Okay? It's a big one. So once you got your eyes on target, it's locked in. You don't have to think about looking at it anymore. Just keep it there. Now we got to put the effort in our mind that needs to be done. Said that bad, all right, but I'll talk you through it. So what's the biggest thing we got to do when we're at our anchor? We got to keep that back tension, that sensational pulling, correct? So what Joel says, and he uses, and I use it too, is just keep saying in your head over and over, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. That's going to put the effort in your back, telling your mind what to do. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, and then you just naturally let go, and hopefully your arrow goes downrange and hits the target. All right? It's a great system. I highly suggest you look it up, Iron Mind Hunting with Joel Turner. All right? It's that simple. Now, here's one thing about the mantra. If you're in a stressful situation like a tournament, people talking or something like that, the louder the input coming in, the louder your mantra has to be. So if you got to scream it in your head, scream it in your head. But keep the gremlin at bay. And if you do that, I'm telling you, you're going to get good real fast. All right, everybody, quick review, and we'll dismiss class so you can get your butt out there and start practicing. Aiming, it doesn't matter how you aim. It's just a word. And if you're just looking at the target, your method of aiming, there you go. That's it. Don't read into it, all right? Now, the big thing about aiming is clear mind, calm mind, and a nice relaxed body. Your body's not fighting. You're not struggling. It's effortless. Yes, there is effort needed to hold the string, but it's not a conscious effort, right? Okay. Some key points. It's your final step before the release, right? Make sure everything's right. If it's not right, what do? Very good. We draw down, right? This is not the time to make any adjustments to your form. If you did something wrong in your form, what do? That's right. Draw down. Don't try to correct it like Greg and miss the target, all right? And it's vital when you're at this point to do what? Almost keeping the back tension by pulling, keeping that pulling on the string. Do not set, do not relax. Keep the effort into pulling that string so you can have a beautiful shot at the end. Now our tips to get better were simple. Listen to your mind and body. If they're talking to you, something's wrong. Listen to them. And then finally we talked about the mantra. The mantra is a way to keep that gremlin away. I'm telling you, check out Joel Turner at ironmindhunting.com. That guy knows his stuff when he can shoot, and he can help you, especially those fighting target panic. All right, boys and girls, that is it. The aiming section, step 8. We are up to step 9 now. We're almost there. And we're going to take the class out on our final one, do a big review, and we're going to see if we can put it into practice. And I'll shoot left and right-handed to see how things go. All right. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time with an all-new episode of Archery 101.